Welcome back everyone to another video, and in this video we're going to have a little bit of fun and I'm going to show you some of the markets with the strongest rental growth according to data. And this is very important to understand because strong rental growth is one of the strongest indicators of good capital growth in the future, right? And to explain this a little bit further, strong rental pressure supports rent growth. It reduces the overall vacancy risk of your property, so you'll have a tenant there. It'll also improve your overall cash flow position and reliability, so you know you have money coming in month to month, and provides a buffer against bigger interest rate rises in the future, right? Because if you don't have good rental growth, you don't have the income to support maintenance, to support interest rate rises, to support unexpected events. So having good rental growth and low vacancy is critically important to your investment strategy. And I think by showing you this, guys, and showing you how to filter this rental growth, it will be extremely beneficial to you and to your understanding of what markets to look at and what to consider in the future as well. But just before I go any further, guys, I do have a property blueprint education program where I teach you everything I know about property in bite-sized modules that you can learn at your own time. And you also get access to the private community for 1 month, which is just incredible value when it's just $349, guys. And you can learn everything you need about property. There's 8 in-depth modules, there's 60 plus videos, and there's hours and hours of content with resources and downloadable templates and practical tutorials on how to start. There is a full education curriculum on the website where you can read every single video and what I go through in various different topics, what I would tell my younger self, bonus resources, and more and more. There is just so much value jam-packed into a perfect little education program, all for $349, guys. It's a lifetime access, and then you can stay in the community or you can continue to renew your subscription as well. So if you have any questions, leave it down in the comments below. Don't wait any longer. It's 2026. Don't miss out on the next property run. Jump into the course and get learning. But let's get back into the video. Now I'm going to show you this and show exactly why I do each one of these metrics and show you how it will impact the overall outputs over here, right? And just for reference, I'm going to be doing it at the LGA level. Once you work out sort of the LGA level, you can go in and start to look at the nuanced suburb levels and where and which suburbs are having the strongest rental demand. But I wanted to do an LGA level because it's easier to comprehend for the investors. So first thing I'm going to do, the price, I'm going to set that between 100,000. I'm not going to put 5 million because most people are investing at that range, but I'm going to put $1 million, right? So anything below $1 million, we're going to be having a look at. If you're investing above that range, well, I'm not the guy for you for that. You should go to someone else. Now for the rent change, I was playing around with this before. I normally set it to 5 and that will give you a good list of locations to consider, but there is just too many here that I would like to put. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this to number 8 and this will narrow down to a lot more results. I've gone down to about 58 entries from around, filtered from 10,915 entries. And now when you look at this list, you can actually see there's a lot of small little towns right through this filtered list, which I don't want to invest in because I don't invest into locations and LGAs with less than 40,000 people. Not something I recommend. There are investors who do that. That's not my cup of tea. So what you want to do with the population greater than, I'm going to just set it to 40,000 odd, and this works at the LGA level, right? And then this brings me a very nuanced list of suburbs. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to rank this by rental growth from largest to smallest. And we have a very interesting list of locations right here on the screen. And I think some may be surprised, some will not be surprised. It'll just be depending on who you listen to and what you're listening to as well. Now, the first thing you'll notice with this very short filtered list is that there is about 8 entries from around 11,000 entries. So from 11,000 suburbs, or LGAs rather, we have got down to 8, which is just a very significant amount. Now, please remember, I'm only looking at one metric right now, which is rental change greater than 1 year, right? And I've filtered it with LGAs greater than 40,000 people. And when we start to rank this, we can see that Gladstone is actually one of the markets with the strongest rental pressure of that LGA. Now, you still can go in and look at it a bit more nuanced. For those of you who don't know Gladstone, Gladstone is a location in far north Queensland, primarily in manufacturing, LNG and natural gas production. It's a location that has been booming for the past 3 years or so. It's gone from property prices near the parts of 300,000 to around 600,000 in some of these locations. A lot of growth has happened, yields have compressed, but still rental growth has remained very, very strong with around 14% over the past 12 months, which is just incredible. Now, for those of you who don't know, I started off my YouTube channel looking at Gladstone. It never has been my favorite location by any means because of the economic diversity concerns around this location. There is a big push towards renewable energy, and if that transition happens successfully, then there's a bright future for Gladstone. But at this stage, things are still looking a little bit interesting. But nonetheless, when we're looking at, one metric of rental growth, we can see that rental growth has been very, very strong in this market. And then you can go in and you can actually look at the suburbs nuanced as well. You can start to go into each of these locations and have a look at the rental growth over the past 12 months or so and ascertain which locations that you could be considering, right? And the reason this is very interesting to me is that despite a lot more investors buying into Gladstone, you still find that the vacancies are very tight, which means people are still living there. There's still a lack of rental supply that is causing this market pressure in that location. Now, the next location is Fraser Coast, better known as Harvey Bay. This location is a good location to consider. A lot of investment going into this region. Not something I've actually talked about on the YouTube channel, I don't think ever, to be honest with you, but it's a location that is fairly economically diversified. It's growing in population and a lot more investment is going into this area. And from the rental pressure market side of things, we can see that it is very, very strong, with about 10% growth over the past 12 months and about 30% over the past 3 years. So very strong growth, a lack of rental supply clearly in that area. And then you kind of scroll right across, and then you can also look at the vacancy rate. So you can see Gladstone and Fraser Coast is around 2.4, much more on the higher side than I would rather be under 2%. So that is something to be wary of. It might mean that rental growth is a bit less in the future 12 months ahead. But regardless, at the moment, the past 12 months, the rental growth has been strong. Remember, once again, guys, I'm only looking at the rental change in 1 year. The affordability is above my threshold of what I like to see, but it's just a very interesting thing to look at. When we look at markets, we can see that rental growth is still very strong in these areas. Now, probably one of my more favorite locations is Bundaberg. No surprise that Bundaberg is on this list. You can see about rental growth is about 10% over the past 12 months, and I think it's likely going to continue because when you see the vacancy rate, you can see it's 1.69%. So it's still a very, very tight rental market despite lots of growth happening in this location. For those of you who don't know where Bundaberg is, once again, it's up in far north Queensland, a location that has performed extremely well over the past 3 years with plenty of growth. The market is still very, very tight in this location. Properties are going around for 600K and above, good quality 3x1 stock. You might find something cheaper that needs some work, but this is the reality of the market on the ground. Has a very good diverse economy. Parts of it does fall under a flood zone, so check your insurance premiums, and has good major projects coming alongside one of the major hospitals being built in this area. I have done a deep dive video on Bundaberg, so go check that out. This is more of showing you the rental growth side of things. Kalamunda, I'm not sure how I'm going to pronunciate that word, unfortunately. I don't know too much about this location, but it's on the $1 million mark. You can see that rental growth is pretty strong, around 10% once again, like much of these locations. Cairns and Mackay, some of my more favorite locations as well. Cairns is doing very, very well in terms of rental growth, which we like to see over the past 4 months. And when we also scroll across for Cairns, we can see that affordability is a little bit better, around 39 years than some of the other suburbs. And once again, vacancy very tight, 1.6%. So we're likely to see more rental growth in the locations, right? And I might not go through every one of these locations. Mackay also, once again, good regional location. Again, 10% or close to 10% rental growth of that area. And you've got Lockyer Valley and Belmont as well as some of the locations above 8% rental growth, right? Anything above 5, I usually consider acceptable for an LGA level. And when you sort of bring this list out, you can actually see more and more locations. And before I go through them, guys, if you haven't already, jump into the private community. 2026 is your year and you have to make it. And the way you make it is by getting the right type of help, right? Don't pay 15K to a buyer's agent. Don't pay 20K to a property guru. Don't pay 30K to someone who says they might do get something and not achieve the results for you. Try $35 a month. It's a subscription service. Jump in the private community, get the help you need, and then leave, right? It is amazing value for what you get. You have nothing to lose by trying it out. And when you're buying a $500,000 to $1 million asset, if you're not ready to take the leap for a couple dollars a month, then you're not going to be able to find the right asset, in my opinion. Go check it out. Well worth your money. And if you want to get a month free, jump into the Property Blueprint course. You'll get a month free into the community alongside many other resources, lessons, and information that you need to become a long-term property investor with the right mindset. But let's go into the rest of H-Tag and what I was showing you as well. Now, I know everyone is investing in Victoria now, so I'll show you some of the Victorian locations as well. But I think some of the New South Wales locations I think are good to call out is that you can actually break this down by the state. So if I looked at rest of New South Wales, you can see that some of these are very, very good locations to consider that has still good rental market pressure. That includes Dubbo. I've been talking about Dubbo for the past 12 months. It's doing well. It's going to continue to do well in 2026, and then we'll see from there. Maitland region. If you don't know where Maitland is very close to Newcastle CBD, right? I guarantee you, or I'm very confident that this will be a future hub very close to the CBD of Newcastle, supplying jobs, employment, and many other regions. Just be careful. Parts of Maitland do flood, so you do have to be careful about where exactly and what property you do purchase. But Maitland is a growing hub. You really need about 750 these days to purchase here, but once again, a very good location. Wagga Wagga, economically diverse, very good location, great potential in the future. I would get a property there if you can as well. Much lower entry price around, and you can find properties around 650, 600,000 in Wagga Wagga still to this day. So keep that in mind. Bathurst, a decent location, probably not my first go-to. Lismore, the same. I'm pretty sure parts of it do flood. Tamworth, a good regional location to consider as well. It is booming in value at this point in time with around 14% growth of the past 12 months, which is insane, but around 5% increase in Tamworth as well. And probably one of my favorite locations is Albury, New South Wales, with about 5% growth over the past 12 months. I feel like this number is a little bit skewed because of all the suburbs, but I know for a fact that, suburbs like Lavington, Wodonga, Springdale Heights has done numbers in Albury, Wodonga. So great location to consider. And I think the one that everyone is been waiting for is, what about Victoria, right? What about what Victorian locations are booming in rental growth, and what should you be considering? For those of you who are avid watchers of my channel, for those of you who are avid community members, then this list is not going to be any surprise to you by any means. But some of these locations that I think should be called out and worth calling out is Wodonga. Now, I talked about Albury before, great regional hub, growing economy, good population forecast, and Wodonga is right beside it with strong rental growth. Mildura is surprising me with the rental growth. I thought it would be a bit lower because there was a lot of properties vacant for a serious amount of time. This might look a little bit different in 12 months' time. I'm just having a look at the overall vacancy rate. You can see it's very high, around 2.72%. So might not be the best time to enter at the moment, or you may have to wait longer to be able to get a tenant in your property. Next one we have is Greater Shepparton. Shepparton is a wonderful location to consider. It's about 70,000 people, and we can see that in Shepparton we have about 6% rental growth across the location and a vacancy rate of 1.8%. So closer to the cusp, but still below 2%, still within our acceptable range, and a location that is growing in value. Greater Bendigo, once again, one of my favorite locations to consider. I've made deep dive videos in there, and Latrobe and Gippsland as well is a growing little hub, booming in value. Some parts of Latrobe you do have to be careful of socioeconomic wise, crime wise, but parts of them there are houses well below replacement value that you could be considering. I've done a deep dive video in Latrobe as well. So I hope this video has helped you and shown you and shed some light about where the rental growth is across the markets. So even though, there's been a lot of chatter about Victoria, and I'm very bullish on Victoria in 2026 and some of these regional areas that do think they'll perform well, there is a statement to be made that Queensland, the rental pressure is still incredibly strong. And when rental pressure is strong, that attracts investors. Because why? Investors care about yield and capital growth and not having their property vacant. And that is an appealing trait that Queensland has. Some great locations in the form of Bundaberg, Cairns, and Mackay, and Fraser Coast, worth considering. Definitely some trade-offs about these locations, but nonetheless, it's really good to share this data with you and then go it through with you. If you have any questions below, jump into the private community, leave some comments down below. I'm always happy to discuss. Till next time, thank you very much, guys.